beginner part of Abs Builder. I recommend doing this every other day until you're ready to move to the next level. Opposite shoulder to opposite knee. Crunch. "15 exercises, 15 minutes. Each exercise is 50 seconds long with 10 seconds for transition. The timer is just for guidance. Do what you can and take breaks during set if you need to. Every time you crunch, make sure that you feel it in those abs. Ooh. And last one. Opposite hand to the opposite toe. Each of these exercises is going to build the body and prepare it for the advanced core work. Even if this is too easy, always remember that when we want to do intensive workouts, it's important to start at a slightly slower pace. Then we can slowly bring the intensity to the boil and be able to complete the workout. Being gentle on the body is very important. And that's it, last one. And now we're going to walk out into a plank and walk it back in. No rush. Work at your pace. Walk it into a complete plank and walk it back up. Feel the stretch in the hamstrings. Bring it back up and back down. Feel the stretch in hamstrings, heels on the ground. Slowly lift the toes. And here where we're building the core. Full plank. Just holding for a split second before walking back up. And last one. And we're going to go ahead and take it on the ground. Crunch it up and down. Exhale when you crunch. Inhale when you lengthen. And when we crunch, make sure do not pull on the neck. We want to crunch with the core and a little bit beyond the max. This is where core is building, where you feel that little oomph. Ooh. And that's it. Now we're going to start with the lower abs. Knees are bent. We're going to lift the lower abs up and lift the butt off the floor and back down and touch it. And as you crunch, try to lift it higher. And as you lower, try to slow it down. And if this is getting a little bit too challenging, you feel too much pressure on your lower back, then tone it down. Reduce the range of motion. And that's it. We're going to turn on the side. Legs are at a slight angle with the body. Lift it up and lower. And as you lift up the leg, you think it's really easy, squeeze the thigh. And we're using the abs, tuck them in. And that's it. Go ahead and get into a high plank. We'll do other side shortly. Stay in the high plank. And check your abs. If they're hanging down, that's totally fine. Try to tuck them in, but sometimes they just have a mind of their own. Breathe and try to tuck them. And this is we're strengthening the shoulders. If it's too hard to be in the same position, move it around. Feel stretching those calves. Turn it on the side. Leg lifts, squeeze the thigh. And when we build the abs, we're alternating between really high intensity exercises like planks and things that involve a lot of strength in the core with the lower intensity exercises so our body can rest and build the strength. And last one. Take it on the back. And we're going to crunch upper and lower abs together into a tight ball. All the way. And you can either touch the mat or you can extend all the way. And no rush at all. Crunch it to the max. And if your lower back is hurting, extend it high up. Important thing is to keep the lower back on the ground. Focus on the end of your range. The core building is happening at the very end of the range. The slow pace keeps it engaged. Last one. And turn it back around into a low plank. Low plank, we have 50 seconds. So what we're going to do is switch. Turn it to the left. And then turn it to the other side. Very gently, building that shoulder strength. Or it's totally fine if you want to keep it steady plank, contracting the core, building it. Explore if you like to, building shoulder strength. This is very, very challenging, so next one we're going to do a little bit easier. Bring it back up all the way. Standing abs. One leg, hold on to the wall if you want to, and we're going to tilt. Tilting forward. And if you're here, that's totally fine. Knee toe point to the ground. And we want to bring ourselves to a T. It's all core work, consciously contracted. Keep a chair next to you if you need to. And now squeeze that glute. Bringing it to a T and holding, stare at one point on the floor for balance, and if balance is off, catch yourself. Other side. I'll do this. Find your balance, grab to something if you want to, and go into a T. Point hip, both hips point down, knee toe points down. And contract the abs and work on balance. Deep breaths. And that's it. Walk it into a plank, high plank. And here we're going to test our core. We're going to turn into a side plank. If you like, you can be on the knees. Make sure your mat is very soft. Movement is very slow, so you give your abs a chance to get engaged. And we're working on shoulder strength. Last one. Legs 90 degrees. We're going to pull the rope. Working on obliques, trying to reach behind the opposite ankle. No rush. Remember, it's the end of the range where the core gets built. And last one. Now the last thing for today, we're going to do a reverse plank. A lot of upper body strength, very challenging. We're going to lift the butt off the ground and support ourselves. Squeeze the glutes all the way up into a bridge. If this is too easy, you can extend that into a full plank and hold. Deep breaths. Squeeze it higher. And when you get tired, take a break and back up. And that's it. We're done with the beginner part. Practice every other day for a couple weeks until you're ready to move on to the next level.